So we have to understand what is present inside SQL statement. So SQL statement is an interface where we used to execute certain SQL queries. Which are those statements? One is statement interface, prepared statement interface, callable statement interface. How are those three related together? They are related in this manner. This is what we had seen in the previous class. We had seen what are these statements doing internally, why do we use those statements, everything we had seen. The next thing that we should be seeing here is, JDBC application will be following, we will be using it to write the SQL queries. And if we have to use that, we have to make use of three important methods from the statement interface. Which are those three important methods, sir? If you ask me, one is execute query, other one is execute update, and other one is execute. What are these three methods basically used? If you ask me, three methods are also used to execute, your SQL query itself. Give me a minute, please. Okay. Okay, so what is that we have to understand in this is that in JDBC applications, we use, in order to execute the SQL queries, we have to make use of these three inbuilt methods. Which are those three methods? One is execute query, execute update, and execute. First one that we have to see here is that execute method is what we have to see. Why should we make use of execute method? What is the outcome of this? What is that you are seeing on the screen? Execute method can be used to execute both the selection group of queries and updation group of queries. Selection group of queries and updation group of queries means selection means to fetch the data. Updation means to modify the data. That is what they mean by selection group and updation group. And this method can also be used for executing both the select and non-select methods. That is insert, update, delete. These kind of statements can also be executed using execute method. When execute method is invoked, we have two helper methods for reading the data there. What are those two methods? One is get result, other one is update count. So get result means what? Get result is going to give you the set of data that is fetched from the particular database. What is this get update count? Get update count is going to give you the number of rows that is affected because of your SQL query. Update means number of rows modified. So only we are getting the count of number of rows that is modified. I hope I'm completely clear with these two methods. Get result is for what? To fetch the result. Get update count is used for fetching the number of rows that is affected. I hope I'm completely clear. That one I'm representing it in a technical terms like this. I hope I'm completely clear with this execute statement. We will proceed ahead with the things, guys. I have now completed with the execute function. Next, we have to go for public result set execute query. What is the return type of this execute query? Is a result set is the return type. So why is this execute query used? Execute query will return a result set object. Result set object means which contain one set of results that is fetched from the database. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Okay. Next, what is this execute update? Execute update is going on to your database, making some modifications. Once a modification is done, how many ever rows that was modified, that number it will be giving it here. I need not dwell too much into this because you have already studied these things as DDL queries in your SQL. Okay, so the DDL statements, insert, delete, all this stuff you have already studied the things. As and when I write the code, you will be getting to know when I should use the result set, when I should use string, all the stuff you will understand. First, copy this as it is. Once I write the program, you'll get the clarity on this, guys. Copy this as it is. We have to come for our actual first program. Take down the heading as program number 1. Write a JDBC code to insert data into database table. The first crude property, inserting the data onto the database table. Write a program to insert data into database table. Write a program to insert data into database table. Insert data into database table. Copied with the things, guys. Copied the things, everyone. Guys, am I audible to you all? Okay. Now, what is the program, sir? If you ask me, I would take the program name as, whatever name you want, you can take it. These are the initial import statements that we should be having. What all importations that we will be doing, that as and when I progress ahead, you'll get to know why I have used these import statements. I need a connection from SQL, I need driver manager, I need SQL exception, I need statement, I need the driver. All these things is very much required for us. Yes? So, now, everybody notice the things clearly. Okay? The next statement that I will be doing is the signature of the program. That is, I will tell the public class program 1. Inside this, as normal, I will create one, static variable, connection type con. Next, this is the main method that I am having, okay, which is throwing 2 exceptions. One is class not found exception, and other one is the SQL exception. The first thing that I'll be doing as normal is we have to revise our 5 important steps that we have in executing a JDBC query. The first step is what? Load the driver is the first step. That is what I will be doing it now. Notice. First step is loading the driver. These 2 lines will take care of what? Loading the driver. It can be in any one of the approach. I have taken both the approach. Whichever you want, you can use it. Not both, any one of them you can choose. So I will tell code for loading the driver. My first step is completed. What is the first step? Loading the driver. Any one of them you can use. It is not a compulsion. Both of them I should write. No, any one thing you can write it. Okay. So now first step is completed. That is loading the driver. What is the second step? Establishing the connection. How do I do it? I will tell driver manager dot get connection, and I will tell JDBC colon MySQL colon / localhost 3306 slash the name of the database followed by the username and the password that I have given for the database. Once I tell this, it is going to give me one connection. That connection I will be collecting it where? I will be collecting it inside one variable called as con, which is defined as a private static connection. Private static connection type con happens to be one of the connection that I would have got after establishing the connection to the database. Once I get this, I will tell connection established, and these are the code for establishing the connection. I hope I'm completely clear with this much. Once this is done, what is the next step, sir? If you ask me, next step is what? Creating the statement. That is what I will be doing it here. See, I will tell con dot create statement. Once you create a statement, what you will have? You will have a statement with you. That is what I'm collecting on the LHS. I will tell statement type stmt is what I will tell. Now using this statement, what should I do? The third step is done. What is that? Code to create the statement is ready. What is the fourth step? Execute the statement is the fourth step. That is what I will be doing. I will tell con dot, I will tell stmt dot execute update. Okay, this is for inserting the data. So only I'm telling it as execute update. Sir, why should you tell it as execute update? Why I will tell it as execute update is update means make a modification onto the database. If you had seen execute update method, I told you clearly, execute update method will work when I'm modifying the database, when I'm adding something to the database, when I'm removing something from the database. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Execute update when you should use when you are modifying the content inside the database. Or whenever you are adding something to the database, you have to make use of execute update. So what is the query? Insert into employee values. What are the values? Some values I would have given there. One is the employee ID, name, and other one is some thing that I would have given. That we will see it once we write the actual database. I hope you are getting the clarity on what we should write it here. Okay, sir, next what? What is this? This line is going to insert data into database table, that is employee table. What will it return? It is going to return the number of rows that is affected. How many rows got affected? One row would have got affected, that I will be telling it as X. Okay, sir, next what? I will tell if in case X is equal to 1, it means that if one modification is done, then what should I do? I should tell success. Else what should I tell? If the data entry is success, I will tell it as success. If it is not success, then I will tell it as fail. I hope I'm completely clear with this particular thing. This is the closure of your statement. Fourth step is done, executing the query. Fifth step is what? Closing the connection. That is what I'm doing here. Closing the statement and closing the connection. If I do this much, this will complete my first program. I hope you are getting the clarity why I gave those 5 important steps. All those 5 steps are imbibed in this particular program. I hope it is completely clear with the things. I'll give you time to copy this program. Anyways, let us first execute the program and then let us, copy the code. Okay, so I would stop sharing the screen here. I would now, start sharing my complete window. I would start sharing my complete window. Now what I will do, I will open my SQL command prompt. MySQL command line interface I will open. This is my MySQL command line interface where it is asking me, please enter the password. I will tell root is the password. If I hit enter key here, I'm inside my database. Now I have to create one database. Rather than trail, I would have a precise one. So I will create a new database. I'll tell create database. Create a database. I will tell what is the name of the database. I will tell ABC online is what I will tell. I will tell close. Once I tell this much, one database is created by name ABC online. I have to now start using this database. So I will tell use, ABC online is what I will tell. If I hit the enter key, you see that database is changed. I hope I'm completely clear with this much of the things. Okay, so I want you guys to quickly take a screenshot of this, and along with the screenshot, I want you guys to write this as well. Right from here. From here, I want you guys to copy the things till here. Ahead, what we have to do, that I will be telling it to you. First, copy this much. Copy this quickly, guys. You should be knowing the queries. How do you create the database? How do you change the database? All those things you should be knowing. Okay, now, for some of the full stack students, it might be a case where you already know these things and you might tell, sir, why should we write it? But there are few of them who have not been, used to this MySQL database. That's the reason I'm asking you guys to write it. If you already are well versed with it, I don't mind if you don't write. Okay, but it would be always good if you write it. That's what I feel. Anyways, now the database is now changed. I have to now create one database table. So I will tell create table. What is the name of the table? I will tell employee. What all things should be there in the employee? First, EMP ID, which is of the type int. Next, I will tell EMP name, which is of varchar, and I will tell the value as somewhere around 400. I will tell 400 means those many number of locations that I will be giving for that. Okay, sir. Next, what I will tell gauge, which is again an integer. Now I will close this. If I hit the enter key, you see there query okay, 0 rows affected. That is, one table has got created. Now I have to insert the data onto database table, which I will not be doing it here on my SQL. Rather, I will be doing it on my Java program. How, sir? If you ask me, now everybody have to notice this carefully. I know 400 is too much for a name, but anyways, you can make it as 40, 30, 50, anything for your sake. I have just given it as 400, simple. Any range you can give. That's up to you. Okay. Anyways, I have this here. I will close all the things that I have. Now, what should I do here? I have to create one, file where I will first come to my Java perspective. I'll come to my Java perspective here. And what should I do here? I will first come to file, new. What is the file that I should be creating? I should be creating a Java project. What is the name of Java project? I will tell it as, database program 1. Program 1 is already there. I will just tell it as program 1 database. So now inside this, it is asking me for module. I'll tell I don't want a module. So inside this, I will create one package. I will tell new and I'll tell package. What is the name of the package? I'll tell com.abc. I will tell. Inside this, I have to create one class. What is the name of the class? I will tell it as program 1. Program 1 I will tell, and I will include the main method also here itself. Now, this much of a code I have already got it from my Eclipse itself. This code I have already got it from my Eclipse. Okay, sir. Next, what? Inside this first step is what? First step is loading the driver. In order to load the driver, I have to first add my jar files. How do I add my jar files? I've already told you the steps. Right click on your project, go to properties. In properties, Java build path. There, go to libraries, click on module path, tell add external jars, select my Mysql jar, tell it as apply, tell apply and close. Now, if you see, my MySQL jar is ready. So first step is what? Loading the driver. So I will make use of class.forName here. I will tell class.forName. I will tell class.forName. I will be telling inside this. What should I tell? I will tell com.mysql.jdbc driver is what I will be telling. This I will be closing it within the parenthesis. This I am closing it within the parenthesis. After which it is going to throw an exception called as class not found exception that I will be collecting it here. Next, what, sir? I will now come down, tell system.out.println. I will tell driver loaded. driver loaded is what I will tell. Next one is what I have to establish the connection, for which I will make use of whom? My driver manager. I will tell driver manager dot. I will tell driver manager dot get connection is what I will tell. Whenever I say connection, three things I have to give. One is the URL. What is the URL that I should be giving? JDBC Mysql local host local host 3306 slash what is the name of our database? ABC online. I will tell. That is the name of the database. What is the URL? What is the username? Root is the username. What is the password for this? The password for this also happened to be root itself. This much is what I would be telling. What is this going to throw? This is going to throw my SQL exception that I am collecting it here. Okay, sir, connection is done. What is the next step? Next step is I have to check whether the connection is established or not. So I will tell system.out.println. I will tell what connection established. Now, whenever you are establishing the connection, this get connection method is going to return you something. What is it that it is returning? It is going to return you one connection. Whatever connection that I have here, that only I made it as connection type con, and I made it as a field. How do I make it as field? I will delete this, where it will tell it as, this is not defined. So I will come over this, create a field. So if you see that, connection type con is created there. You can make it as static variable also. You can make it as local variable also. Anything for that matter, you can do it. If you make it as local also, it will work. If you make it as static also, it will work. I hope it is completely clear to everyone there. Now, two steps are done. Which are the two steps? First step was, load the driver, which is completed. After which, the second step was what? Establish connection. Establish connection. That is also now completed. After which, what is the next step? The next step happens to be create a statement. Create the statement is what it means. How do you create the statement? Based on the connection, you will be creating the statement. So I will tell con dot create a statement. I will tell con dot create a statement is what I will be telling here. What is create statement going to return you? It is going to return you one statement here, which I will collect it inside STMT, and I will hover over this and make it as private static statement type statement. I hope I am completely clear. What type of variables they are? They are static instance variable. They are instance variable. Why? Because they are present inside the class. They are static. Why? Because they have been associated with the keyword static. I hope I am completely clear with this thing. Okay, sir. Next what? The next step is statement is created. Now, I have to do what? I have to execute the query. So, I will come here and tell execute execute query and collect the response or the result. Collect the result. What should I do here? I will tell stmt dot what should I tell? Execute query or update? Execute query, execute update. You have to tell it as execute update. Inside this, you have to give your SQL query. What is the SQL query? I will tell insert into what is the name of the table? The name of the table employee, EMPLOYE, employee values. I will tell what all values? Employee ID, followed by the name of the employee. What is the name? I will tell it as Ram. What is the age? Age happened to be 28. This much is what I would be telling. What will this return to me? This is going to return one SQL query for me. Okay, so I will be, what is the result of this query if you ask me? The result of this query happened to be integer value, that is how many rows got affected. So I will collect it inside one integer variable x. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Next, what I will do, I will tell if in case x is equal to 1, what I will do, I will tell system.out.println, I will tell query executed. Query executed, I will tell. Next, if this condition is not working fine, I will tell else system.out.println, I will tell query execution failed is what I will be telling. This is what I will tell. After this, the next step happened to be closing the connection. What is the closing of connection if you ask me? What is the closing of connection? Is to ensure, all those connection that is opened should be closed for the better coding style. So I will tell statement I had opened, so I will tell stmt.close. I had opened one connection con, I will have to close it. Con.close is what I will tell. I hope I'm completely clear with these set of queries. How many steps did I do? This is step number 5. This is step number 4, step number 3, and step number 2. And this happened to be my step number 1. 5 step is what I specified. 5 step is what I have used here. I hope I'm completely clear with these things. Okay, sir. Now please execute the program. Let us see what will be the output. The output of this program I will certainly execute. Now notice, guys, I have clearly told you when I am teaching something, please don't raise any queries. I would not be able to address it, and even it will distract me, it will distract all others. Whatever doubts you have, I will certainly help you. Don't worry. Okay. So till then, you please ensure that you are, maintaining that patience, please. Now notice the things, guys. Okay. Now I will execute this program. I will tell run the program. Once I start running the program, notice what is the output that I would be getting. First driver loaded, connection established, query executed is what it is telling. Sir, query executed, where is the result? The result, you are not printing it here. Where will the result be printed? Result will be printed on your, Mysql command prompt. So I would now show, I want to see the result here. So I will tell select, you already know the query. I will tell select star from where? From where? From your employee. I will tell MPL OYEE. Select star from employee. I will hit the enter key. If you see there, Ram has now got added onto your database. I hope I'm completely clear with this stuff. Sir, whatever you told, select star from employee, can we do it in our Java program itself? 100% you can do it. How? In the next code, I will be explaining it to you. But well before that, I want you guys to copy this program as it is here. I want you guys to copy this code completely here. I would display the program on your, Eclipse itself. Simultaneously, I want you guys to execute it as well. Simultaneously, even execute the program. Okay, now, what is the next thing that we have to notice here? If you ask me, the next thing that we have to notice here is, this part is done. The next program that we have to understand is write a program to fetch all the data from a database table is what is the second program. Write the heading of the program, write a program to fetch all the data from the database table. Write a program to fetch all the data from database table. Program to fetch all the data from database table. Now, I want you guys to write the program. Well, before you write, I will give you a small hint here. What is the hint? Notice the hint is you should know something from here. From here, you should know something. From this page, you should know something. Quickly take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this and give me an acknowledgement. Okay. And you should be knowing something from here also. Take a screenshot of this as well. Okay, now in my watch, the time happens to be 12:35. I'll give you 5 minutes of time. Let me see who will come up with the solution for this. I would be expecting the solutions to be posted in your chat. In the chat, I want the solution to be posted. Let us see what is the numbers. I mean, what is the number of people who will come up with the solution? This is the program that I want you guys to write. Take your time of 5 minutes. I would come back and ask you what is the solution status. Let me see how many of them will come up with the solution. I have already told what is the query. How should you write the query is what you have to think now. Let me see how many of them will come up with the solution for that. Okay guys, shall I proceed ahead with the things now? I'm really happy that most of them have sent your solutions here. I'm really happy that every one of you are sitting there and trying with the code. Very, very happy for it. Good job, guys. Now, as normal, it is my duty to, take you through the program and make you understand what those lines are doing. So let me proceed ahead with the things now. As normal, these happen to be my import statements where I will be having these as my loading of the driver code. I'm going a bit fast because these things you are already well versed with these things. Loading the driver, establishing the connection, all those stuff. This is for establishing the connection. Is there any doubt in this? Is there any doubt in this page that I'm displaying? If so, any doubt, please ask and get it cleared now itself. Okay, now I will proceed ahead with the things, guys. Now, okay. Firstly, I have to create one statement. I will tell con.create statement, which is used to create the statement here. Code to create the statement for executing the SQL query. Now I have to write on what basis I have to create the query. Statement is ready. Using the statement, I have to create one query for execution. On what basis should I execute? Since I'm fetching the data from the database table, fetching query is what I have to write. So if I have to write fetching query, what is the statement? What is the method that I should be using? I will tell stmt.execute query is what I will tell. Execute query method will return me one result set that I will be collecting it here. Or execute, I'm sorry, just give me a minute. What I'll do is I will directly make the changes there. There was some mistake. I will directly make the changes in your Eclipse itself. Now notice everyone. So this line should change now. This line should change. In fact, not just that, even this will change. What should I do here, sir? If you ask me, I will tell stmt.execute query is what I will tell. Execute query is asking you to give that SQL statement. So I will tell the SQL statement is select what star from where? From the table. What is the name of the table? From employee. From employee. What will this return? This is going to return you one result set, which I will tell it as RES. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Now, what is this result set containing? Result set is containing the list of, the column of results. All those things I have to display it now. How will I display the things? How will I display the things is, I will have to write one query. I have to write one loop here. I will tell as long as res dot, what is the next thing that I will tell? Res dot, next is what I will tell. If it is equal to true. What is that res dot next? I will explain it to you. Don't worry. If this is equal to true, what is that I have to do? I will tell system dot out dot println. What should I tell? Res dot get. First column contains what? First column contains integer. I will tell get int. I will tell what is that? I will tell first column data I want. Next, I will tell system dot out dot println. I will tell res dot get string is what I will tell, because second one contains what? Second column contains my name, so I will tell second column. Next, I will tell system dot out dot println. I will tell res dot get integer from the column 3. This much is what I would be doing. Sir, now please explain what is that res dot next, all those things are. What are those things? Now I will explain it. Everybody notice the things carefully. Okay, sir, what is that? For now, I have got one result here. Result will be available in form of one table here. In form of one table, the result will be available for me. How many columns were there in my database table? 3 columns. Here also I will be getting 3 columns itself. In first column, what will be there? As normal, employee ID will be there. I will tell it as EID. I will tell. EID is what I should be telling here. Anyways, I'll not be able to write it clearly. So what I'll do is I will just make it as column number 1, 2, and 3. This is 1. This is my column number 2, and this is column number 3. Who will be pointing it to this? My res will be pointing to this. Who is pointing? My res is pointing to this. Res is pointing to this. He is now pointing to him. Now, what is that I will be checking here is res dot next. He will come and check here. He will come and check where? He will come and check here. In this particular row, he will check. As normal in this, whatever data will be there in my database table, that will be available here. That will be available here. So he will come and check, is there any data in this particular next row? Yes, if data is available, get inside, perform these tasks. Perform all these tasks is what I will tell. Okay, sir, once these tasks are performed, what is the next thing? Once these tasks are performed, now he will again come, check is there anything in this particular row. In this particular row, if it is present, what will I do? I will again come inside this, loop, and I will execute the content. Again, I will check, is there anyone present here? Yes, if he is present, again it will get executed. Now I will come and check, is there anyone? No one is present. He will come out of the loop. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Result set is what? It is a set of results that I have fetched from my database table. So in this manner, whatever I have declared, in that manner itself, it will be available. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Yes or no, guys? Equal to true means res dot next. Next method is going to return you a Boolean value. I'm going to check whether Boolean is equal to Boolean. If it is equal to Boolean, if it is equal to true, execution will happen. Else, it will come down and execute the remaining portions. I hope I'm completely clear with this much. Any doubts in this, guys? Any doubts in this? I want you guys to come up with the doubts if you have any doubts here. Else, I will proceed ahead with the things. Why it is showing error in the program, I will tell you. Now, once I execute this, then you will get the clarity on this. Parameters like 1, 2, 3, I'm not understanding. Great. Now, see here. Why I'm telling it as 1, 2, and 3 is because first one represents what? Number 1 represent your column number 1. See here, it represents column number 1. 2 represent what? 2 will represent your column number 2, where your name is present. 3 represents what? Your column number 3, where your age is present. So you can even tell it as name, employee ID and your age also. Rather than that, you have an option of specifying it as a column number. I'm specifying it as a column number and I'm executing the things. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Yes, it is printing integer in column 1, string in column 2, and integer in column 3. Why? Because in column number 1, I'm having integer type of data. Column number 2, I have string type of data. Column number 3, again, I have integer type of data. That's the reason it is printing it as a int, string, and int itself. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Okay, guys, now let us proceed ahead and check what will be the output of this particular program now. I will tell it as run as. Okay, there are 2 more queries that I would be taking. Executing through column, it is going to execute only the first row. Yes, whenever it is executing, it will go in the row wise, not column wise. It will go row wise. What if there is n number of columns? Do we have to specify it every time? For that, my next program will give you a solution. You need not worry about that. Now, let me execute this program and show it to you guys. Now, I'm executing the program. Now, let's see what is the output that we will be getting. You see there, 1 RAM and 28 is what I got as the output. Why it is 1 RAM and 28? Because 1 RAM and 28 is the data that is present inside my database table. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Yes or no, guys? Got the clarity on this? How do you know before itself as which column contains what type of data? For that, in tomorrow's class, I will be talking about something called as the metadata. What is this metadata? Metadata is going to specify what is the type of data that is present in each column. Based on that, you will be able to execute your queries. I hope I'm completely clear with that particular thing. Some of you are telling that, sir, if we don't know what type of data, that is what I was telling. In tomorrow's class, you will get to know what is the approach for you to ensure that you get to know what type of data is present in what column. That I will be telling it in tomorrow's class. And again, I don't know why people are asking me about result set again. What is the result set? Result set, a set of results. You are able to see it on the screen itself. The result set is a set of results that is present, that is fetched from the database table. That is only called as a result set. Column names is what we are using now. We are not using any row name. The row will not have any name. Columns is what will be having the names. Yes, we can use it. I will demonstrate that as well, don't worry. Why we create statement is because we need to ensure that we create one statements. Every time our statement has to be created. How do you create that statement? By what statement I'm talking about here is the SQL query is the statement. If you have to ensure that is created, you have to create a statement here. Okay, now let us understand one more thing here. How do we ensure that we get the same output by making use of column names? Okay, what all columns do we have in our MySQL in our database? If you ask me, we have EMP ID, EMP name, and age is the things that we are having. Correct? So 3 columns is what we have. So I will tell. First one happens to be EMP ID. I will tell. Second column happens to be EMP name is what I will tell. And my third column happens to be the age. This is what I would be telling it here. Now, based on this, I have to fetch the data. How do we fetch the data? Now, notice the things. I will execute the program. What is the output that we are getting? Same output only we are getting here. Can I specify the column name and fetch the data? 100% you can do it. 100% can specify the column name also and specify the data and fetch the data. I hope I'm completely clear with this particular thing. So quickly copy the while loop once again, please. Only the while loop you can copy it, guys. This particular loop you can copy. You can specify the column name also and fetch the data, guys. Okay, let me quickly repeat this column concept once again. That is, see, previously what I had done here was, I had specified the row number like this. I mean, the column number I had specified, not the row number, column number I had specified. Rather than specifying the column number, I can specify the column name itself. I can specify the column name and get it. That is what I did it here. I specified the column name and I got the result as well. I hope I'm completely clear with the things. Yes, you know your get int, get string, all those things will be accepting 2 types of parameters. One is the integer parameter, other one is the string parameter. All of them will accept both the parameters. They are having 2 different constructors. One is to accept the string type of parameter, other one is the integer type of parameter. But ultimately the end result will be the same in both the cases. I hope I'm completely clear with this particular stuff.